Chapter 3 The Yoga of Action. Arjuna said, if your intuition idea is better than action, Jaranda, then why do you urge me into this terrible action, Kazahava? With equivocal speech you confuse my intuition. This one tells me without doubt by which I should attain what is better. The blessed Lord said, in this world a twofold basis was previously taught by me, blameless one, the knowledge, yoga, of the Sankhayas, and the action, yoga of the yogis. Not by an abstraction from actions does a person attain freedom from action, and not by renunciation alone does one approach perfection. No one, even for an instant, can ever stay actionless. Everyone must perform actions unwillingly by the qualities born of nature. Whoever sits restraining the power of action with the mind remembering sense objects, this deluded self is called a hypocrite. But whoever controlling the senses with the mind, Arjuna, engages by the power of action in action yoga, unattached, this one is as distinguished. You do controlled action. Action is better than inaction. Even your body maintenance could not be accomplished without action. Aside from action for the purpose of sacrifice, this world is bound by action. Perform action for this purpose, Garyushta, free from attachment. Having sent forth creatures along with sacrifices, the Creator anciently said, by this brings forth, may this be the milk of your desire. May you cherish by this the gods, may the gods cherish you. Cherishing each other, you will attain the supreme good. Cherish by sacrifice, the gods will give to you wish for enjoyments. Whoever enjoys these without offering gifts to them is just a thief. The good who partake of the rest of the sacrifice are released from all evils. But the wicked who cook for their own sake enjoy impunity. Creatures comes from food. Food is produced from rain. Rain comes from sacrifice. Sacrifice is produced by action. Know that God produced action, originates in an imperishable God. Therefore, all-pervading God eternally remains in the sacrifice. Whoever does not turn the revolving wheel here, who is malicious, sense-delighted, this one lives vainly, parata, a person who is self-pleased and self-satisfied and self-content. This one's task is never found. Whoever has no purpose in what is done or not done has no need of purpose in anyone. Therefore, without being attached, always perform the action to be done. Practicing action without being attached, a person attains the supreme. By action, Jankata and others attain perfection. You also observing what the world's needs should act. Whatever the best do, that others do also. This sets a standard that the world follows. Partha, there's nothing for me to do in the three worlds, nothing unattained to be attained, yet I engage in action. If I should not engage in tireless actions at all, people everywhere would follow my path, Partha. If I should not perform action, these worlds would be ruined. I should be a maker of confusion, and I should destroy these creatures. As the unwise act attached to action, Bharata, so the wise man should not act unattached, intending to maintain the world. One should not cause the mental breakdown of the action attached ignorant. The wise practicing union should encourage all actions. All actions being performed by the qualities of nature, the ego-deluded self thinks that the I is the doer. But knowing the truth, great armed ones, of the two roles of quality and action, qualities work in qualities, thus thinking one is not attached. Those deleted by the qualities of nature are attached to qualified actions. The knower of the whole should not disturb fools who are ignorant of the whole, entrusting all actions to me, meditating on the Supreme Soul, being free from desire, free from possession, fight, cured of fever. People who constantly practice this doctrine of mind, trusting, not complaining, they are also liberated from actions. But those who, complaining about this, do not practice my doctrine, confusing all knowledge, know them to be lost, thoughtless. Even the wise act according to their own nature. Creatures follow nature. What will constraint accomplish? Like dislike situated in sense and the object of sense, one should not come underneath the power of these two adversaries. Better one's own imperfect duty than another's duties well performed. Death in one's own duty is better. Another duty brings fear. Arjuna said, then what does compulsion does a person commit harm, even unwillingly, Varishka, as if commanded by force? The blessed Lord said, this is desire, this is anger, born of the emotional quality, voracious and greatly injurious. Know this to be an enemy here. As fire is obscured by smoke, and a mirror by dust, as the embryo is enveloped by the amnion, so this is covered by it. Knowledge is covered by the internal enemy of knowers, in the form of desire, kanuka, which is an insatiable fire. The senses, mind, and intuition are said to be its seat. With these it confuses knowledge, covering the embodied. Therefore, you, at first restraining the senses, Bharata bull, kill this harmful thing that destroys intelligent knowledge. The senses, they say, are high. Higher than the senses is the mind, but higher than the mind is the intuition. But higher than intuition is this. Thus, intuition, what is higher than intuition, sustaining the soul and with the soul, kill the observer, the adversary, great armed one, the desire form difficult to approach. Commentary. The main theme of this chapter is how to perform one's duty in the world without being attached to the fruits of one's actions. It also deals with the nature of desire, the role of sacrifice, and the characteristics of a self-realized person. The chapter begins with Arjuna asking Krishna why he is urging him to fight if he considers knowledge superior to action. He is confused by Krishna's seamlessly contradictory advice. Krishna clarifies that there are two paths leading to enlightenment: the path of knowledge for those who are inclined towards contemplation, and the path of action for those who are inclined towards action. He says that both paths are valid, but one should follow one's own nature and duty. Krishna then explains that one cannot achieve freedom from karmic reactions by merely abstaining from work, nor can one attain perfection of knowledge by mere physical renunciation. He says that work is inevitable for everyone, as everyone is driven by the modes of nature. He says that one should work without attachment as a service to God and humanity. He says that by doing so, one can purify one's mind and attain peace and freedom. Krishna also explains that work done as a sacrifice is beneficial for both the individual and the society. He says that sacrifice is a universal law that sustains the creation, and that one should participate in it with gratitude and devotion. He says those who enjoy the gifts of nature without offering anything in return are thieves and sinners. Krishna then describes the quality of a person who has attained self-realization through karma yoga. He says that such a person is free from desire, anger, and greed. He says that such a person is content with whatever he has and does not depend on anything external for his happiness. He says that such a person is detached from both pleasure and pain, and neither praises nor criticizes anyone. He says that such a person is steady in his mind and intellect, and sees God in all beings. He says that such a person is serene and harmonious in all circumstances. This chapter covers two main points: the path of action and the nature of desire. It also introduces some other concepts, such as the distinction between renunciation and detachment, the cycle of sacrifice, the three modes of nature, the four types of human beings, etc. It also lays the foundation for other types of yoga that will be discussed in later chapters.